Good afternoon. Travis County search crews say today they do expect to find the deputy who went missing in floodwaters Thursday morning. Nearly 85 people resumed the search at 7 o'clock along Bear Creek in northwest Austin. Chris Sadeghi is there live with the very latest this afternoon. Chris?
It was described to us that yesterday was the hammer, today is the finesse, that they've pinned down some areas where they think they may find something, and they're going to carefully comb over those areas. Search crews are walking the creek beds. They have dogs, they have metal detectors, not just searching for the deputy, but any evidence that may have been attached to her. When asked if this is now a recovery operation instead of search and rescue, a sheriff spokesperson simply said it was a search and left it at that. They did say the amount of resources offered from other agencies and volunteers has been so great, they had to start turning people away to keep the search manageable, and that includes the deputy's colleagues who want to do anything they can to help.
They're all concerned. They all want to come out and help, but we're having to force them to stay away and let us focus on the job at hand and get some resolution to this quickly.
I think the terrain and also the conditions, the weather we've had has really washed things around. So area that they covered last night, they're having to look at again this morning.
And just a few minutes ago, we saw Sheriff Greg Hamilton riding around in an ATV, and we're told that he has been out here for most of the search. Also, a deputy told us that earlier this morning, a few citizens even came down, dropped off some food and drinks for the rescue crews here at the barricade. We're live in northwest Austin. Chris Sadeghi, KXAN News.
All right, thanks, Chris. Let's check in right now on the low water crossings in the area. And despite the rain stopping a few hours ago, there are still about 30 crossings closed, so it's important to pay attention to the warnings out there. At one point, nearly a dozen crossings were closed along Spicewood Springs in West Austin. That's because of the flooding from Bull Creek. As you can see, a raging river. This is what the creek looked like at about 8 o'clock this morning. That flooding led to a few more cars being washed away. Water crossing number 7 on Spicewood Springs is where we saw one of the more dramatic events. Dat Lee thought it was safe to cross at 6:20 this morning because there were no barricades, but he quickly ran into trouble. He lost control of his car and just barely made it out by jumping through the window.
Okay, scary. It's very scary. I thought I could die.
He did make it out safely, but this is a look at his car. You can see it is still surrounded by the floodwaters from the creek, and it'll take some time before the crews can pull it out. This morning, Austin firefighters rescued a driver who drove off the road and rolled down a 30-foot embankment in West Austin. This happened near Lost Creek Boulevard at Loop 360. The man was taken to UMC Brackenridge with critical injuries. 2 people are recovering today after escaping a dangerous situation at this low water crossing last night. They were able to escape from their car just moments before high waters washed it away. Rescue crews arrived minutes later, and at one point the water was about 4 inches deep. It covered 100 yards of the road.